We have also 3 evaluators here for our 3 speakers today. First, where's my agenda? Yeah, you're always here. First evaluator is for Chen Kai, is Kok Chung. Competent communicator Kok Chung.
Thank you to our Madam Evaluator, Ms. Sharon. Chen Kai, thank you very much for giving the tips on how to burn our fat.
You don't need that. I need it.
I'm sure every one of us will need more than you. Chen Kai, your topic is really very relevant to our audience today. And I love that you show good connection to all the audience with your eye contact, evenly to all the audience to the left, right, and center. And in order to get good connection with the audience, you also ask questions about how many sit-ups before we can burn 1 kilo of fat in our belly. That was a very good question to ask, because you induce the audience to start thinking and automatically they are engaged to your speech. Thank you for making use of visual aids and props to continue making everyone engaged to your speech. You have a very good pacing of speech and clear. I don't ponder to think what you say, and it was really clear throughout all your speeches, throughout all your speech. If you may allow me to give some feedback on your improvement, you may want to work on the movement when you are giving your speech. This speech has a subject about burning the fat in the belly. You may capitalize on this speech of fat burning with a lot of movement, make it more energetic and dramatic so that people will be more excited when listening to your speech. And also, there's one more point towards the end. Because you give a very good 2 point, which is enough for the whole speech, it's not too many points for the audience to swallow. The last summary, when you were giving, I would hope that you give it like a finale or climax before the Bruce Lee quote. That was by adjusting your tone so that it can emphasize your conclusion. Overall, thank you very much for being so informative for every one of us, and I'm looking forward for your next speech. Thank you.
Let's continue clapping up. Okay, and if you haven't been to a Toastmasters club, everyone gets evaluated.
Yes.
Except the general evaluator. You can give my evaluation after the meeting.
Those were the days.
No. You can give me an evaluation after the meeting. It's okay. I will take it. All right. So for Casey, your evaluation as follows. I like that you are very encouraging to Chen Kai. Chen Kai on his presentation of the speech. What I would like you to focus on is his purpose statement. What's the purpose of this speech? The purpose of his speech is on presenting and researching. So the presenting part, he did well. He was brilliant. He has props, he has PowerPoint slides. All these visual aids are very useful and tie into the speech itself. But the research part, we're missing a source. You say, yes, we need to burn 48,000. Who said it? If you can give us either American Medical Association or some other, or the World Fitness body or something. Yes, some credible sources from where you can get all this data from, can give it to us. Okay, and that doesn't have to be just data, it could be just any factual information that you want to deliver to us. If you can bring that up to present in your speech, it will make it more powerful because you are quoting a credible source. It's not that, yeah, because I practice it, that's why it's 48,000. Of course, yes, given your photo as your visual aid, you can consider yourself somewhat credible. But to have certified like source that would be really powerful to give credibility to your speech. You won't get questions from people say, who said that? No, that number is wrong. Yeah. Okay. So Casey, please just bear in mind speech purpose. And also when you were delivering, I find that you were pacing back and forth. I'm not sure why. Somehow I don't feel it was part of what you want to deliver to him, or is it trying to get some distance and then pull him in so you walk closer? I'm not sure, but if you can, try to reduce unnecessary movement. It's fine if you want to include movement to add to your own message, but if the movement distracts from your message, then it defeats the purpose of you giving him or not just him, but giving us a speech presentation. All right. Thank you very much, Casey. Next, yes, Ken is really eagerly waiting to give his presentation. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. So the next evaluation would be for Chris, presented by Ken Cole, Advanced Communicator Silver, Advanced Leader Bronze.
Now, Chris, you had indeed sharing a lot of traveling tips towards the audience over here. So the objectives was very clear. Encourage all of us here in MAT meeting to be cost saving, so don't trust the tour package. In your speech or this objective, you made it more like a debating style, such like DIY style is better than tour guide style. So you did have a very strong debating style in this. Another thing I realized about your speech is about your friendliness in terms of answering the Q&A. A lot of very challenging thrown to you, but you were very calm, you're very friendly, you're very pleasant. You answered them with a good sense of humor. So that is a very good way how you manage to convince the audience to trust on your debating style. That is one thing I like about you. Another thing about how do you transform or how do you quote your evidence. In your slides over there, you did crop or you did snapshot some of the Air Asia, their flight promotion. So that is a very good evidence how you really capture people's attention. Because for the website, it cannot lie people's eyes because from the price, you can see it's well quoted from there. So you didn't make up the price, you've done your research in this fact-finding report. So that is very well done. Now let's see how can I make your own DIY evaluation to be a master tour guide in the future. Firstly, I realized in your slides when you jump on to the DIY points, there's a lot of versus statement if you realize. But somehow this versus statement, such as hostel versus hotel, all these things don't really have a very proper answer. So perhaps you can separate one of them. Choice number one, choice number two, preferred choice is. So this gives a lot of audience a lot of understanding which is the better choice to follow of it. Of course, none of the choice is better, but in your presentation of this fact-finding report, you must convince the audience to have a very good straight line to follow your idea. So that's my suggestion to you. Secondly, to promote more of this DIY travel, other than cost saving, how can this promote or how does this add value towards the audience or towards the tourists? So other than cost saving, you should add more value, such as to be DIY, you are more resourceful because you've done your homework before you're going to vacation. You've done your homework before you are more adventurous instead of following tour guide. So all these interesting values, all these self-assessment tests, audience are easily being more convinced to trust your ideas to be a DIY travel. So that is a value added other than the cost saving part. So that can add a lot of benefits towards the audience. Other than that, this is a very interesting topic because I really learned a lot. So far I never done a DIY travel before. So hopefully this year I can go traveling alone without relying any of my friends or my family. So I plan my own trip. Your speech has indeed added value in me. So hopefully my evaluation can help you to inspire more future cost saving and value added tourists in the future. Back to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ken. Very good observation. You even went down to break into her speech details, as in the words that were displayed. I was just enjoying her speech. I didn't take any notes. So yes. was really good observation on your part there, and for your improvement, I would feel that maybe you can also turn around to look at some of the other members of the audience. Yes, I know you want to give her, you want to address her, your feedback, your evaluation, but the purpose of that open evaluation, as well as the verbal evaluation, is not only for the speakers, but also for everyone here in the meeting to learn something. And they say, oh yes, I can take note not to do that next time. All right, thank you. And our final speech evaluator, he is doing double role today as double evaluators. Very hardworking, Seki. Wow. What, you want me to read your notes or what? Okay. Now invite Seki now to present his evaluation for Sri.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is an international speech and therefore also a contest speech. We believe the sandwich method works, but because this is at a high level, you're going to just get a pita bread. The good thing that you have done, of course, is that you've got a captivating intro in which you did somewhat of a role play. I saw Sue. She didn't look very engaging or promising or impressive, right? So in that manner, that moment he opened with I saw Sue, we all started to picture who is this Sue that he was talking about. And then he further went on to describe that this person walked like Charlie Chaplin, and that this person was really not much of a looker. When you look at this person, you don't feel much connection to this person. As you went along, you also described how this person lived her life and versus the person who actually was always compared to. So we understood how a brief intro on how India is like, where beauty over not so beautiful people, right? So that actually painted a picture for us. And with your descriptive way of telling us how this story progressed, we started to picture a little bit more and more and more. And it felt as though we were with you when you saw this person and how you described India. Your voice is clear, very clear, to the point where there is no words that we did not understand from you. That's your PW. Let's move on to things that you can actually work on. The first being your organizing. The organizing of your speech, I felt that the story has taken too long because it was overly descriptive, to the point where you explained just on the legs alone. I already had green light. On the legs alone. Okay, we're gonna go long because this is for his contest. But too much. It could have just stopped at Charlie Chaplin legs, or it could just go a little bit further by saying that how deformed it actually looked. Because while you said that this person looked like Charlie Chaplin, we didn't really know what was the defect of her legs. Was it oversized? Was it one big, one small, or was it one short and one long? So we didn't get to see that part of it. So while it was overly descriptive, we still missed out certain details to understand more about who Sue was. All right. Moving on, because it was overly descriptive on other things, it made it difficult to conclude properly. I felt that you had something in the conclusion, but because the light was already at yellow, you kind of rushed it. So I think work on the middle part so that it will be less. Going into the moral of the story, this is my personal opinion, we normally look at the green light and we try to start talking about the moral of the story, or what is the take-home message that everyone can learn from that particular story. When you start earlier on that, you can comfortably end at yellow plus, which is safe in contest. Alright? Try not to, I would suggest that you don't try and challenge yourself to hit the red, therefore don't hit the bell. So that would be contest, right? Moving on from there, I also felt that while you are someone who's very tall, the stage is automatically yours. Too bad, I'm short. Right? Tall people naturally have the stage presence. The way they command the stage, the way they speak to people, it forces people to look at them. Right? You have that benefit. But because of that, sometimes I also felt that you put on too much of a barrier in front to show that, hey, I am here, look at me. Try to dial it down by appealing more to expression. Because the start of it all, when you say, I saw Sue, I wasn't impressed. It felt a little bit arrogant, but it could have been, if let's say you appeal to the pity of it. I saw Sue, and with the expression of, I'm not very impressed or anything, coupled with the voice to go down lower as well, I wasn't really impressed. Compared to, I saw Sue, I wasn't impressed. You know, it felt very arrogant. So if you wanted to appeal to people to describe how this person was, you already use your expression to do most of the work. And of course, coupled with the lower voice and that lengthening of, I wasn't impressed. Because you are showing hesitance. You don't really want to talk bad about a person, but you had to because it was part of your story. That was the thing if you were to play around. The next thing, of course, she was laughed at even by her family. Again with that, try to appeal to the pity. She was laughed at even by her own family. It helps because you are tall, it helps to sometimes crouch a little bit or even touch your knees to show how small that person would have felt when they were being laughed at. Because your body should also mimic what that person should feel if you're going to talk about the drawbacks of that person. So work on the emotions and the expression, and that would be good. Just a matter of observation, I also realized that your crutch word is and. Yes. And because this is an international speech, I would say try not to compare. It's okay to talk about India, but try not to compare. I don't know how it's like in Malaysia. Because if you do, and we hope that you do represent 102, right? If you do go up to the world stage, you can't be saying, I don't know how it's like in US because, or I don't know how it's like in the other parts of the world, it's too broad. So just go into, in India, continue on with the story. So that's just a matter of observation. And also, the point on lake beauty, is there something significant in India about lake beauty, or is it just physical attraction as a whole? So maybe on that note, you can spend a bit of time to talk about physical attraction and how people actually, before they put a price tag, the dowry on a lady or their sons or anything, they look at the overall appearance of that person, and therefore even the slightest on smallest drawbacks can actually affect the whether this person is marriageable. Something to ponder about. Ponder. And so to challenge yourself, I think at the end of the day, your story had a lot of gem in there. There's a lot of potential to make it into something that is very strong, very appealing to the emotions of your audience, and also be able to bring forth a message that you want people. I particularly like how Sue actually had a different take of the world. Alright? Because of that, I also want to challenge and ask you, as a manner of presentation, how would you position yourself when you're telling this story? Are you an inspirational speaker where you are just telling a story and for people to think and reflect? Right?
Yes.
Or are you going more on the approach of persuasion where you are advising people to take action? And finally, would you have been better at being a motivating one where you're challenging people to adopt a good behavior or something from this story? So these three approaches, while they are quite similar, because a lot of people, they don't really know how to differentiate inspirational, persuasive, or motivating. These three are relatively similar, but there are differences that can differentiate whether you are one of these three. So all in all, I wish you all the best. I hope my evaluation has helped you in some manner, and all the best in Division C. Back to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Seki. All right. Really good observation. Very pinpoint, even meticulous in the way you've taken notes, and also pointed out where Sri can improve on his performance for the contest this weekend. Seki, timing, please. Yes, focus on the main idea. We don't need all the onions and the garlics and everything inside the sandwich. You can give it to him later. Just give us the meat. Okay, thank you very much.